It is the Tigers versus the Panthers. And the Tigers pretty much unchanged to a man in their squad. You've got most of their changes coming from the bench. You've Tokamanu and Cooper coming in on the 14 and 17 shirts. Amon was in the 14 last week. He's just bumped down to the 16. As for the Panthers, obviously they were going to take a huge Origin hit this week. Edwards is named at fullback, but there's some potential doubts on that based on rumblings that I've heard. Staines back to the wing, Crichton back into his favoured centre spot. Momirovski swaps sides with Jennings now on his wing. Burton out of the centre into the 6. May is in the 7. Leniu comes in the 8 shirt. Kenny is now your starting hooker. Fisher-Harris named as captain this week. You've still got Kickow. Sorensen from the bench to the starting lineup. Eisenhuth is your 13. And then Salmon, Hopgood, Smith and Targo all coming in for the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers are pretty much unchangeable. They're pretty much completely changed from last week, whereas the Tigers, only the one change in their starting lineup, and that's Seyfarth into the 13 shirt. I mean, logic and reason says you back the Tigers just due to the amount of changes. But this Panther side has so much depth and talent, it is so difficult to back against them.
And for that very reason, I'm going the Panthers 13+. Yes, this is a Tigers side that has looked better in the last couple of weeks compared to that of recent times. But you just look at the system. Stephen Crichton's been a revelation at fullback over the last couple of weeks. Played some of the best football we've seen him play in a long time. It's why he was in the Origin conversation. Rob Jennings, wasn't that long ago that he was rivaling, the Brett Morrises, the Josh Morrises for the most prolific try scorer in the season. He's only getting his first or second game of the year here for the Panthers. Matt Burton, as versatile as he is a natural half. That's his position. It's the same for Tyrone May. They are natural halves. Mitch Kenny has been more than serviceable when Api Coruscant's been out. Scott Sorensen was a starting second row for the Sharks. Couldn't get a game for the Panthers. That's how good they've been. Jamin Salmon, for a hot minute there at Parramatta before coming across, was the Parramatta incumbent 6. It wasn't until his injury and Dylan Brown coming up and essentially stealing that spot that he got dropped off off the radar. And then you've also got the likes of Brent freaking Naden, who, talk about his off-field issues all you want, was a starter for 26 rounds plus 2 of the finals last year for the Panthers. Eddie Blacker has got so much hype around him. Those are your reserves. Those are your freaking reserves. Yes, this is a top-strength Tigers side who are sweating on Luciano Leilua at the judiciary. I'll see if I can find how that's going, because I believe that was meant to be tonight. I think the system's just too good. Leilua found not guilty, so Luciano will play, as will Felice Kafusi for Origin, mind you. So keep that in mind for those putting tips on. But yes, this is nearly a full-strength Tigers side, but it's a Tigers side that's hot and cold. The Panthers, they're second string, but much like we've been saying in previous weeks with the Roosters, with the Storm, their second string starts more often than not for 14 or 15 other sides in the competition. And for every team in England. Panthers 13+. Anytime try scorer. Billy Kickout tends to have some fun against the Tigers, so I'll go with him.
Okay. I'm going to back Tigers, but I'm going to back Panthers. I'm going to go 1-12 on this one. Yeah, I know the mug dropped quickly there. Panthers 1-12 on this one. I think it's going to be a bit tighter. I do worry about. I have a thing about unfamiliar halves pairings. Burton and May, yes, they've played very limited time together. When Luai was on the outer for a hot minute, and But Burton's been playing his trade in the centres for a little bit, coming out off the flanks and now dictating the play. Is a very different ball game. Kenny, again, like you mentioned, very good hooker, but he's not Happy Carousel. Like, they lose so much around the ruck when you lose Happy Carousel, and I just don't know if Mitch Kenny's up to that standard. And you've seen with the Tigers, they have a tendency to, when they play the teams that have got the nippier hookers, your South Sydneys, when you've got Damien Cook popping out, the Tigers tend to struggle against that. Their middles switch off. They've got big bodies up the middle. They get tired. They wear out. And so I just don't know. I don't know how much the Panthers have got this one by. I'm going to say 1-12. I am very hesitant on that one, though. I mean, any times to try scorers. Kick out is a solid shout. You want your senior players to step up when you've got a bit of a second string side running out. Like we said before, mumblings around Edwards potentially missing. I'm going to say Crichton. I think he's going to be a little bit scorned that he's missed out on an Origin spot. And when a week is, when all the eyes are on the Origin squad this week, I expect Crichton's going to step up and try and pinch a shirt for Origin too. And from there, I can see the Panthers running out 1-12 on this one, but the Tigers are going to have to really dig deep.
Yeah, agreed. I will say if Edwards does drop out, it wouldn't surprise me to see they could go one of a couple of ways here. Ivan Cleary and the Panthers. You could put Naden straight back in a fullback. He's been playing fullback for the reserve grade side. You could go Crichton fullback, Burton centers, Jamin Salmon into the halves, into a natural halves position, or you go Brent Naden into centers, Stephen Crichton a fullback. Those are the three obvious options that I see, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I echo your thoughts on that one. I'd say probably Crichton drops back to fullback and then Naden in there, but we'll see how that one plays out, and we will